Hi all, Mark Robinson here, and welcome to another episode of The Modern Day Investor. If you haven't already, would love for you to subscribe or press the like button. As you know, it helps with all the algorithms and stuff, and those algorithms can be your friend at time, that is for sure. So now we're up to episode 7, and we had a lot of people talk about, you've heard me talk about the Ultimate Wealth Acceleration Plan, and we had a lot of people reach out to us asking, exactly how to utilize it and what's the best, method to do it, right? We also had a couple of people that said, look, I'm not good with numbers or financial calculations. I don't have any experience with the Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets. Look, we totally understand that, right? The Ultimate Wealth Acceleration Plan has been designed so that you can build it the way you want it to. Yeah, we've just given you a template. You can have it on paper if you really wanted to. I remember a member in France, right, and they really didn't like spreadsheets at all. And I said, look, you can change these colors to whatever you want. And the minute they realized that that was the case, they dead set became engaged in it and actually made it purple. I think it was. Shades of purple and stuff, and that really got our creativity side of things happening. So, however you guys build it, but you do need a plan, right? And there's multiple parts to this, but the basic version of it has 4 main tabs, right? And they are your financial house, your financial independence spending plan, your starting point, and your net worth. And your starting point is the cash flow side of things, and your net worth is all your assets and liabilities. And as I went into more detail in the last episode, we spoke a lot about your financial house, about, why would the universe give you more money when you're not managing the money you have, or whatever you believe in, God, Buddha. It really doesn't matter, right? So, and that actually applies to a lot of things in your life, yeah? Why would why would you get more clients when you're not managing the clients you have? Why would you get more responsibility or a pay rise at work when you're not managing the responsibility you have? Why would you become healthier when you're not managing the health you have? So these are the sort of things that we believe in, and we've always found that when you start to hit a ceiling, right, what happens is there's generally something broken or needs fixing in your financial house, or there's a part of your financial house that you need to build. And the stronger your financial house, the better. Okay, so why would so think of it like the 3 little pigs analogy. Yeah, and we think about the big bad wolf. How do you want your financial house to be like? What is it built out of? Straw, sticks, or bricks? And it's important to have an incredibly strong financial house as possible, because once it's strong and it's set, right? Think of it like those old castles. They always got built on, over the centuries, and then eventually they had moats, and then they had, guard towers and what have you. So you ultimately want to have, right, ton of guards with machine guns and stuff, at each corner of your house protecting you. Yeah. Now, I don't mean that in the literal sense, but that's things like lawyers and accountants and companies, trust structures, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's the sort of how you ultimately want to end up being, and it could be in different jurisdictions, so on and so on. And that's the first tab of your Ultimate Wealth Acceleration Plan, your UWAP, as we call it. Yeah. And this is the starting process of you becoming a modern day investor, because it's a different way to do things. It's nowhere near the way that we used to do the old way, which I'll talk about as well. The old way versus the old way. Sorry, not talk about. We've already spoken about in a previous episode. Yeah. And then the other tab, I believe it's the most important tab, which is your financial independence spending plan. And this is how you start to create your target. Yeah, remember how we always say, you can't fire an arrow and call whatever it hits the target. So this is you developing a target. Now, we ultimately, what we want you to do is to look at it and go, when time and money is no issue, how will you spend your time? What will it cost to live life your way? Yeah. So that's the sort of stuff. So we're not worried about what sort of income you need. We actually want you to cost out, we literally from an expense perspective. Yeah. So when time and money's no issue, and we've found one of the best ways to do this is go on a date. Yeah. Now, if you are single, go on a date with yourself. Okay. And I want you to go to a favorite restaurant, or a restaurant that you've always wanted to go to, but it's slightly above your pay grade. I know that's a weird saying, but just that little bit of much that you normally go, you know what, I don't want to spend X amount on a steak, or whatever it may be, just that little bit extra. But it doesn't even have to be an expensive restaurant. Just be good one that you've always wanted to go to, or just one of your favorites. Doesn't matter. What we're chasing here, though, is for you to get that, again, that energy behind it, right? And so you go out there, you order your favorite drink, whatever it is, beer, wine, spirits, water, it doesn't matter. Yeah, again. And then you actually want to sit down and go, hey, babe, or if you're talking to yourself, you go, hey, you, I want to, we don't have to turn up to work on Monday, right? For the next 12 months, we're financially independent. What do you want to do? And then you start working about everything that you want to do, right? How are you going to fill up your time? What is it going to look like? Where are you going to go? If you're going to go anywhere at all, who are you going to help? And you start to actually then cost out exactly what it is. So you might go, you know what? I'm currently living in Sydney and I want to go to the UK. Okay, cool. How long for? How do you want to travel? Right now, those of you that don't know Australia, right, leaving Australia business class to anywhere is ridiculously expensive, right? One thing we've noticed about spending so much time here in the UK and Europe, business class is not the norm, right? But it's far more achievable than Australia, right? And I mean it like by a long shot. Like these airlines out there that have, the budget airlines are, even more over here, right? It's like $80 to get somewhere on a plane and stuff, but it's insane. Yeah. So if you turned around and said, I want to travel 3 times a year, then how do you want to travel? Do you want to travel economy? Do you want to travel premium economy, business, or first class? Yeah. And because it affects it, right? Like I said, London to Australia to London, I think is like $18,000, right, per person, business class, right, flying Qantas. And again, I'm sure it was something like that, yeah. And so, whereas, there are ways that you can reduce that expenses. You can start to have that champagne lifestyle using a bare budget, and that's another episode that we'll give you those hints and tips, because there are websites that we utilize where we can actually fly business class for a fraction of the price, right? Which is fantastic. So I tell you one thing, when you're not traveling with, with 2 other kids, right, you can generally sort of have that bit of extra luxury experience, that's for sure. Right, but then, where do you want to live? Do you want to have, do you want to still have a mortgage? Do you not want to have a mortgage? What hobbies do you want to do? Do you want to travel? Do you want to go watch more movies? Do you want to go and visit old bars or churches or whatever it is? Are there some bucket lists that you want to do in that first year? But everything comes with a cost, right? And ultimately what we want you to do is get really clear on how you would spend a year, right? When time and money is no issue. And it can be as extravagant as you want, or as as low key as you want. The choice is totally up to you. It's your life. What I've found though is basically most people are earning enough income to live the life that they want to live, right? They just have to get it via a business or a job. So once we can sort of replace your business or your job with your portfolio, right, you can still live the life the way you want. Yeah, without doubt, you may want to still do a couple extra holidays or whatever. But generally, you're earning enough income now to have, your ideal life. It makes sense, yeah? So again, you don't have to have $10 million, $100 million to live a pretty cool lifestyle, yeah? And so that's what it is. And then the next part of the 4 green tabs, as we say, is your starting point. And you want to get really clear where all your income is coming from, right? Where all your expenses are. And the idea of that tab, right, the starting point tab is for you to actually get any spending that you're subconsciously doing, bring it into your subconscious. So all your income should equal, right, all the money that you put away for savings and investing plus all your expenses. So they should balance or as close to it, right? And what we find is basically, if you've got, I don't know, 100 grand coming in and you've found about 80 grand going out, where's that other 20 grand going? Yeah. Because what you'll see is there's a good chance you're subconsciously spending that 20 grand somewhere. Now, we don't want, you don't have to then turn around and change your habits, at all. But what we've found is if you know where all your money's going, your habits will change, right? You'll start to go, well, I actually don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. I could then allocate that money into our wealth account, and then you start to use our wealth account to get investments going, get our portfolio, could be the 10 grand plan, so on and so on. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to get your starting point books to balance. And then the last one, guys, on there is your net worth, right? And your net worth is just all your assets and all your liabilities, and you want to put absolutely everything. So if you owe grandma $500, make sure in the liabilities you put grandma $500. Yeah. And and unfortunately there may be a few of you out there that actually your net worth is a negative number, and all that means is you owe more than what you own. Yeah. And look, Billy and I many years ago had been in that situation. I shared the story about how Billy was pregnant and we had Jazzy was 2, and we had to leave our groceries at the store, right? We were building our business at the time, and we just ran out of cash right then. We had no credit cards left. They were all maxed out, and if you looked at our net worth at the time, we definitely owed more than we were worth, right? Than we owned. And that's okay, right? But you need to know where you are. This is where I'm starting from right now. And that obviously that starting point will change. It'll change tomorrow, the next day, so on and so on, right? But you want to make sure that you've got your base. This is where I'm starting from. You've also now got your target. This is where I want to be. How do we get there, right? And that's where we actually get you. And I'll talk about it into the next episode, guys, about how you then use that data to build your perfect portfolio. I'm going to talk about how you allocate the capital, how we put it into the asset classes, then how do we go and find the strategies that suit you, not to actually, not ones that are told that suit them, but they convince you otherwise, right? And then get that mix of strategies and timelines and returns, so that you've got this plan, you've got your ultimate wealth acceleration plan, and then all you have to do now is take action and apply it. So again, hopefully that was useful, guys. Hey, I haven't mentioned it in the episodes before, but if you're not already, come and join us at the Modern Day Investor Facebook group. I'll make sure that the team drops a link for you to get it, or just as always reach out to us and we'll make sure that you get anything that we've promised in these podcasts to date. Thanks, guys. See you on the next episode. How to build your perfect portfolio. Bye for now. None of this is advice, not even general advice. This is for entertainment purposes and education only. If you'd like to seek specific advice to your personal circumstances, we urge you to speak to a licensed financial professional.